For example, that prayer breakfast. I'm still angry over that prayer breakfast where he brings up what happened a thousand years ago. About the Crusades and that Christians have blood on their hands, and what does that have to do with the price of strawberries? I don't understand that.
No, but you're right. I mean, a lot of people, Jim, thought that prayer breakfast was kind of the final straw, right? I mean, that's why Rudy Giuliani made his comments about the president doesn't love America and all that. That's where all that comes from because people finally said, you know what? It's time to really talk about what we really think about this guy and what we really think his motivations are and what we really think that how his background is really influencing current U.S. policy. And I think that prayer breakfast was it.
Of course it was it. And I think that he's really Valerie Jarrett's puppet. I'm starting to really believe that. I know conspiracy theorists have been saying that, and maybe there's something to that. Valerie Jarrett was born and raised in Iran.
Right.
She is Muslim, and it's between her and Susan Rice. They're the ones who are really running our foreign policy.
Well, Jim, I've been saying this about Valerie Jarrett for a while, but I always get when I ask a guest about it, they'll say, "Well, it's still Obama's policy. Doesn't matter if Valerie Jarrett is influencing Obama because of her background and her family being from Iran and being born in Iran, all that doesn't matter. Still Obama that's making the decisions."
Well, he was also brought up in a madrasa. He was. Everyone says, "Well, he was only a few years as a child." Those are the formative years. Things that you learn at that age stay with you the rest of your life. Whether you adhere to them or not is another story. But those things are ingrained within you during those formative years. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. And, he's bringing these so-called refugees. They're not being vetted. They're telling us they're refugees. Most of them could be refugees. But among those refugees, you will have Islamists. I could bet the farm on it. And they're not, like I said, they're not vetting these people. Even if they were vetting them, what are you checking? What are you checking? You're checking. I mean, it's not like ISIS has a Department of Violent Statistics that you could check on someone's identity. So he's bringing them in. Meanwhile, there are thousands of Christians being tortured, being mutilated, being killed. I don't see him bringing Christians to the United States. Now, that being said, I believe that they look at these people as votes. The Democrats rely on ignorance. They rely on ignorance in order to get their agenda through, in order to get elected. I mean, who in their right mind would elect Nancy Pelosi? You have to be totally nuts, or you have to be totally oblivious to what she says and what she does as a congresswoman. And I think that's the type of people the Democrats want. They want people who don't pay attention. You look at the polls. Most people don't even know what they're talking about with Hillary's email. That says so.
Yeah, you're right. I was watching, it was Mediaite.com. They were sending things out yesterday about, these poll numbers. People are not paying any attention to the Hillary email scandal. No shocker there because they don't pay any attention to anything else. But they're using that as justification that it's not a big deal. That is, if people are not paying attention to it, therefore it's not important. Well, if we really, I would say if we base everything on that, then Kim Kardashian is more important than anybody, right? Or Madonna's daughter going to college, which there was a big deal about that yesterday. That's the biggest deal that people are concerned about. If we only use that as the barometer about whether an issue is important or not.
Exactly. And it really goes to the heart of our democracy here in this country. She works for us. those are our emails. The American people paid for those emails. What she was doing was she took over something that should have belonged to the American people on the .gov server, and she did. She created her own system, and she used her own system, and then we got to beg her for the emails. You know, this is imperialism if I've ever seen it.
All right, hold on, Jim. We'll come back to you in just a minute here.
Regard for the truth.
Yeah, Jim, hang on. We'll come right back to you. Jim Kouri is with us. Examiner.com is where you can get his articles, or you can have them delivered right to your email box, copmagazine@AOL.com. Send him an email, copmagazine@AOL.com. Mostly cloudy, 74 the high today. Spring may have arrived. I don't know. Let's go to Rick and a traffic update, see what's going on.
All right, Doug, thanks from the Triangle Traffic Center. Looking at the busy traffic, 40 westbound coming in from Johnston County. You know the drill. Clayton Bypass, you're slowing down, and you'll have little room for lane changing and at least tapping the brakes all the way through Business 70. So far, 540 West, that's looking good. You'll have no issues if you're headed out anytime soon from Falls of Noose Road to Leesville Road. Durham Freeway North, good. Durham Freeway South, good. Up and down both directions. Cameras show me quite quiet through there. And the outer belt line's also pretty quiet. 440 West, the traffic that's there is moving well from Capitol Boulevard through Wade Avenue. Our next report in less than 10 minutes. I'm Rick DeFranco, Talk Radio 850, Traffic on the Twos.
Oh, man, what a great idea to get everybody out here to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School for a break.
Yep, it's usually a lunch meeting or another golf outing. It's hard to believe we're only a half an hour from the Triangle.
Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, where you can enjoy quality time outdoors with friends and business associates. Close to the Triangle, but far removed from the stress of everyday life. For all the details, go to deepriver.net. What a blast.
Some things just don't go out of style. For more than 30 years, Mort's Trophies and Awards has stood at the finish line with custom-designed plaques and trophies. When it comes to special recognition, schools, organizations, and businesses come to Mort's. If your organization needs to recognize excellence, give them a trophy or plaque from Mort's that they will be proud to display for years to come. Mort's also engraves jewelry, watches, name badges, door signs, switch plates for electricians, and many other items. Mort's Trophies and Awards in downtown Raleigh, or at mortstrophies.com.
Now is a great time to get a new vacuum and save money during Capital Vacuum's spring cleaning sale. Get a quality vacuum that cleans better, lasts longer, and gets the job done faster. Save big on 30 top name brands including Miele, Rycar, Maytag, Royal, Fuller, and Panasonic. You'll get fantastic savings on uprights, canisters, central vacuums, hand and broom vacs, carpet cleaners, steamers, robotic vacuums, and more. Right now, save up to $100 off MSRP on powerful Miele German-made vacuums. Broom vacs start at just $249. Canisters at only $329 and uprights at just $449. Also, save up to $200 off Rycar quality-built American-made uprights, canisters, or central vacuum systems. Plus, get a free hand vac with the purchase of any Rycar upright or canister. At Capital Vacuum, they make cleaning easy so you can experience clean, comfortable living. Visit Capital Vacuum for vacuum sales, service, and supplies in Raleigh on North Market Drive and in Cary on East Chatham Street, or on the web at capitalvacuum.com.
We're talking local. Talk Radio 850.
Grab your cup of coffee. Call in at 919-860-9783. Now, once again, here's Doug on Talk Radio 850.
And we're back, 646. Jim Kouri's with us. Examiner.com is his email. That's where you can find his articles. His email address, copmagazine@AOL.com. And we're glad to have Jim on with us here. Jim, talking about the email scandal, going back to what you said a moment ago. Again, if sort of the standard is really whether the people of America are watching an event or taking part or following something, that's how we determine whether it's legal or not, or we determine whether it's important or not. Then again, we can look to pop culture and we see that that's where the attention of the American people are most of the time, and therefore not on the important issues, right? I mean, not on whether Iran's got a nuclear weapon, not on ISIS, not on whether Hillary was using an unsafe email server, nothing like that.
The fact is that the American people have to realize, and listen, I'm getting sick and tired of these so-called conservatives on television talk about how brilliant she is and how, I heard George Will and all of these clowns that they claim to be conservative praising this woman. I don't think she's that bright. I really don't. I think she's sneaky. I think she may be cunning if you want to use a positive word for it, but I don't think she's that bright. I think she was only looking at what was convenient for her and what was safe for her. She had no regard for national security. It was not a secured server. So, who knows what the Iranians and the Russians and the Chinese and everyone else who spies on us, how much they got off of her emails, intercepting her emails. They weren't protected. And this is a woman who is looking to hide stuff. That's it in a nutshell. In my article, I talk about the father of Tyrone Woods, the former Navy SEAL who was one of the security guys at the diplomatic mission in Benghazi. And the father is very, very upset. No one seems to care. You don't see the media going to him and consoling him or trying to help him or anything like that, except for maybe Fox News, Greta Van Susteren, and a couple of other people. But this guy, he said that Hillary Clinton looked him straight in the eye, and she knew what happened in Benghazi. She knew it was a terrorist attack. She knew all of that, and she said to him, "We're going to get the guy who made this video." And he remembers that to this day. And, the fact is that she is a dishonest woman, and we have to depend on her honesty to turn over the emails pertaining to Benghazi. Those things are done. I wrote about this earlier this year. They were down in the basement of the State Department. Her cronies were down there sorting through all of her emails and all of her documents. And does anyone believe they were just looking to see what they could send out? Or does anyone believe they were looking to see what documents they had to destroy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's it. I mean, 55,000 emails means nothing if there are really 200,000 that are necessary. It's that the Democrats keep talking about how she's turned over 55,000 of them. It doesn't really matter.
That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. To think about how many emails you receive and send out yourself, Doug, a year. It's well over 55,000 just in 1 year. If you keep saving them, she must have some size of the server. She must have. You must look like something out of a James Bond movie. The basement going on down there. Austin Powers.
I've got a story idea for you, and I was asking people all week about this. Would you rather have a look at Hillary Clinton's emails, or would you rather look at Bill Clinton's emails? Maybe that's a good story idea for you. Most people are coming down on they'd rather see Bill Clinton's. They think it would be much more interesting, and it would probably come with pictures, Jim.
Yeah, I don't have such a comedic sense with Bill Clinton. As far as I'm concerned, he's a racist and he's a masher of the worst sort.
Okay, just ruined my fun, but I got you.
Broderick. I believe these women that came forward, and there were a lot more. And Hillary was involved in smearing every one of these people. Her, that Kirk Laney Davis. I couldn't believe the stuff he was saying Sunday on Fox News Sunday. If I was interviewing him, I would smack him in his mouth. I would lose my job. I would lose my job.
Jim, well, you're right. The thing about there's a link that Drudge has on his website this morning. Kathleen Willey says Hillary Clinton is the war on women because she's the one that was tamping down on the so-called bimbo eruptions during Clinton's governorship and also his presidency. So it was Hillary that was doing all this, strong-arming the women and trashing the women and everything. So, interesting read on that article.
They had hired a private detective agency to go out there and harass these women. We have no idea how many more women were out there willing to come out until these guys started working on them. All right, they would flatten their tires, everything from flattening their tires to calling their husbands. This was, and the media was complicit in it. The media helped them, and which is why I have such a low opinion of the news media. Not all of them, but most of them. You know, they were constantly covering up for this, and they were enablers. You know, if this guy was an alcoholic, you would call them enablers. And this guy is a sexaholic, I guess. And, you know, anybody that came forward with a negative story about Clinton, you know, they were sure to be attacked by this clique, including Lenny Davis.
Yeah.
You know, he was right in there with all of them.
No doubt, no doubt.
Like I said, if he said those things to me while I'm interviewing him, I would have smacked him in the mouth. So, you know, I mean, I have to be blunt. That would have been the end of my career in television.
All right, duly noted. Jim, thank you, sir, and we'll talk to you next week. Good to have you.
Okay, take care.
All right, Cop Magazine at AOL.com. That's his email address. Traffic and weather together, mostly cloudy, 74 the high today. Let's go to Rick and the traffic update. Rick?
Thank you, Doug, from the Triangle Traffic Center. Getting jammed up on the drive-in from Johnston County, 40 westbound. You are slow before